Hey, my Be Free family. So today we are talking about it's time to evaluate your friendships. However, before we get into it, I am Siobhan, your community cultivator and your number one cheerleader. And I believe that every single woman deserves to be free and fulfilled in her life. And I do the most amazing work over at the Be Free Inner Circle, where positive, like-minded women are all over the world who are doing their personal growth work and building real life connections with amazing women. I also have a podcast called the Be Free Project Podcast, so you can always tune in and listen to all these conversations that I'm having about personal growth and friendship. And then finally, y'all, I am having my first in-person event since the pandemic on September 18th, which is a Saturday, and it's called the Be Free Meetup Sip and Grow. And let me just tell y'all, I am over the moon excited about this event because I thrive off of human connection. I thrive off of engaging with people in real life. And so to be bringing everyone together, and women are flying in from all over. So that blows my mind. And tickets are still available. Half of the tickets are sold out. So I know you want to be there. Make sure you go ahead and grab your ticket today. The link is in my bio. BeFreeMeetup.eventbrite.com. We'll talk about that a little bit more during our conversation today. Welcome. I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so happy to be here on this Friday. Y'all know y'all can catch me every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to have amazing conversations here on the gram about personal growth and friendship. And so today, as I mentioned in the very beginning, we are talking about it's time to evaluate your friendships. And this is something that I've been doing for a minute, and it's something that's kind of ongoing for me to make sure that I'm always having the right energy and the right friends around me. So this is going to be a really great conversation. And so y'all know I love interaction, number one. So as I am chatting with you guys, because sometimes it feels a little bit one-sided, make sure you're double tapping the screen and giving hearts. You can always comment and do all the things in the comment section. And then if you have any question about what I'm sharing today, I highly recommend that you type it in the comment box, or you can put it in the little Q&A box. Finally, I want you to invite your friends to come on over and join in on this conversation by hitting that little airplane type of deal in the bottom right corner and invite your friends to come on over and tune in. Lastly, I'm going to say this up front because sometimes I forget to say this. Make sure whenever you are watching me live, you have a notebook and a pen, because I'm going to share something that you're going to want to write down. You're going to be like, what did she say? Make sure you have your notebook ready, all right? And then you can always be able to catch the replay here on my feed. All right, so let's get into it. So I wanted to talk. Can y'all hear me okay? It says reconnect. I feel like y'all can see me okay. Maybe that was just a glitch. So I wanted to talk about evaluating your friendships, right? And why you need to do that. So first, let's talk about what your friendship circle needs to give to you, right? Let's talk about what you need to be experiencing in your friendships. And as we're talking about that, then I'm going to give you several questions that you can do some journaling about, right? To evaluate your current friendships. Hey, Vicky. Man, you're on my list to reach out to. Stay tuned. Anywho, all right, let's get into it. Look, I'm going to get all distracted and I really want to get this out to you. All right, so let's get into it. So when you think about your friendship circle, when you think about your friends that are closest to you, these are some of the things that you want to experience in your friendships. And everything that I'm about to share with you, number one, I'm going to be talking about it at the Be Free Meetup Sip and Grow in more detail, so you better get your ticket for that. But number two, this is what I'm experiencing in my own life, right? So I'm not just talking out the side of my mouth or whatever, however you say that. But what I'm talking about is what I'm actually experiencing. So again, if you do not have your ticket for the Be Free Meetup Sip and Grow and you want more of what I'm going to share today, make sure you get that. And it doesn't matter where you're at. Again, people are flying in from all over. All right. So number one, in your friendship circle, you need your friends to appreciate you for who you are. What do I mean by that? That means that your friends accept you as you are and they appreciate you just the way that you are. Meaning you don't have to be one way in front of them. You don't have to code switch in front of them. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to put on a mask. Your friends appreciate your weirdness. They appreciate your quirkiness. They appreciate whatever it is about you. Like, they love you simply for being you. That means that you don't have to perform. And so many of you ladies, and I know this because Many of you are DMing me. Many of you are seeing me out and about. You're emailing me. You're sharing all the things about how you wish you had the amazing friendships that I talk about, that I have all the time. You say how you've outgrown some friendships and how your friends don't do X, Y, and Z for you. And this is the thing. You want your friends to appreciate you. You want to feel valued in your friendship. You never want to be in a friendship where you're giving more than what you're receiving, right? And everything that I'm going to share is twofold, right? So what you want, you also have to give. I should have said that first and foremost. So if you want your friends to appreciate you for who you are, you have to appreciate them for who they are as well, right? So this is a mutual exchange. I hope that makes sense. So that's first and foremost. And what we're first doing is I'm telling you about what I'm experiencing in my friendships, right? And what you need to experience in your friendship group, your friendship circle, your girl squad, whatever you want to call them. And then at the end, I'm going to share several questions with you for you to evaluate your current friendships, right? So I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. All right, so the first things first, you want friends to appreciate who you are. And let me say, because a lot of people just hopped on, and I'm like, oh, hey y'all. I am Siobhan, your community cultivator and your number one cheerleader. And today we're talking about it's time to evaluate your friendships. So this is interactive, so you can double tap the screen and give hearts if you're picking up what I'm putting down. If you have any questions whatsoever about what I'm sharing, make sure you put them in the comment section, or you can put it in the question box. All right, number 2, you want friends in your life that will make and hold space for you. Right? So whether you're going through something really heavy, whether you have a lot on your mind, whatever it is, you want your friends to be able to make space for you so that when you need them, they're there. And whatever it is that's on your heart, they can hold space for it. And that is so important. And I did not realize that until maybe I would say a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, that this is something that I really needed in my friendships. And when you have friends that will make and hold space for you, what that does is it creates intimacy. And sometimes when we think about intimacy, we're only thinking about it from a romantic perspective. But no, you also need intimacy in your friendships, platonic intimacy, right? And when you have that, when I promise you, when you have a certain level of intimacy, when your friends can make and hold space for you, and there's a certain level of vulnerability, a certain level of transparency, I promise you it will make all of the difference. And I don't believe that we are having conversations about this enough as it relates to intimacy. And I did not know this is what I needed until, again, maybe a year and a half ago. Now, I desired this in my friendships, but I did not have the language around it to say, oh, what I'm really yearning for or what I'm really desiring in my friendship is intimacy, because the only way that I had heard that word used was around romantic relationships. And so this is something that I encourage you to think about as you are nurturing your current friendships, but then also attracting new and amazing friends in your life, that you have a certain level of intimacy, right? And so again, you want your friends to be able to make and hold space for you. You want there to be a level of transparency and vulnerability. And I will say, depending on how many friends you have or what have you, you may not get all of these qualities in one friend. It's amazing if you do, but certain friends will feel certain needs for you in your life. The next thing is you do, and I feel like all your friends should be able to do this next one, is to celebrate your wins, big or small. Meaning your friends are not jealous of you, or they're not jealous of you when you're making or when you have accomplishments, right? They are not like, oh, here you go again with another win. No. No. You want friends in your life that will celebrate you. And it is such a great feeling, no matter like, so for I don't want to say right now, it doesn't matter, right? So right now you could be in your winning season and maybe you just have so many wins. You want friends that's going to be your cheerleader and cheer you on. But even when it's not your winning season and your friend is winning in her life, whatever that looks like, you want to be able to cheer her on. So it's this mutual exchange. And I promise you, having friends that celebrate your wins, it is the best feeling ever, because everyone wants to feel good about the accomplishments that they're making. And everyone wants to know like they have someone in their corner that's going to cheer them on. And so even one of my friends today, she just announced something so amazing. And I'm in her DMs like, yes, I'm so proud of you. That's how you do it, right? You don't want friends that's like, oh, here she go again with another thing. No. You want friends that's going to celebrate you. And I'm telling you, the way my friends and I celebrate one another, it is like, yo, right? And even when they are winning, when anyone in the circle, whenever someone is winning, we're like, all right, how you gonna celebrate that, right? And we all have celebration lists that we are pulling off of, like, hey girl, you said when this happened, this is what you were going to do, right? And so you need friends that's actually going to encourage you to celebrate. And that is one of the things that I don't know how I want to say this, something that I'm really big on inside the Be Free inner circle is that I want the women to learn how to celebrate themselves, because that's not something that we, specifically Black people, in my opinion, Black women, are used to celebrating ourselves. So inside the Be Free inner circle, it's a constant conversation. And I'm in their cheerleader, like, hey, let's get it. You just did this. You just did that. How are you going to celebrate? And some of them is it's challenging in the beginning because they're not used to it. But over time, I'm noticing more and more that they're learning how to do that. So again, you want friends in your life that is going to celebrate you, celebrate your wins, big or small. All right, next, you want friends that you can have fun with and that you can laugh with and like genuinely have a good time. Whether y'all are on a girls trip or whether y'all are talking on the phone. For me, laughter is very important. And I'm wondering, I feel like laughter probably is in my top 10 values. Like, because I have a great sense of humor. I really do, right? And because I love to laugh, I love all things funny, whatever. So that is very important in my friendships. And I told this story before. I remember one of my friends when we were just like really starting our friendship or what have you. And okay, so I'll say this before I say that. I had a friendship breakup. I talk about it enough, so y'all already know the deal, right? And in that friendship, we had a lot of laughter. And one of the things that I feared that as I was attracting new, amazing friends, that I wouldn't have the same joy or I wouldn't have the same laughter. Those small little things that only her and I would laugh about. Fast forward to making these new friendships, and that limiting belief or that lie that I don't want to say it was a lie, but it definitely was a limiting belief that I thought. But that's not true, because the friendships that I'm attracting now, we have so much laughter. And I'm so glad that I was able to experience that, because I didn't want to hold that on like, oh man, I'm never going to laugh again the way that I used to. And that's not true. And so I share that to say, even if you've been through a friendship breakup and certain experiences that you had with that particular friend, don't feel like you won't get that in new friendships. You will. Just be intentional about the type of friends that you want to attract. And if laughter and joy and having fun is very important to you, let that, and I talked about this in the how-to guide to finding your forever friends. Make sure that's something that you list down. Like, in my friendships, I want to be able to laugh, right? So as you're attracting new friendships, you're already putting that energy out there that is something that you desire. So again, that's number 4, is that you want to have friends in your life that you can have fun with and laugh with and just enjoy life with. Number 5, and initially I didn't have these numbered, but since we do, I think it'll be easier for you guys. And plus, I'm always numbering anyway. So hold on, I'm gonna do this so I don't lose my place. All right, so I am on number 5. You want friends in your life that will love you as you are and will allow you to grow and evolve. Let me say it again. You want friends in your life that will love you as you are and allow you to grow and evolve. Why am I saying that? Because there are certain friends that they can only be your friend when you stay the same. And when you begin to change, when you begin to grow, flourish, find fulfillment, and be free, all of the things I talk about, it makes them very uncomfortable. And so what will happen is you'll start to see friction in your friendship because they don't like the change. We're always changing. We should always be changing, right? We should always be growing, evolving. There should always be a new area of your life that you're working on, especially if you're doing this personal growth work. And so there are friends that maybe you grew up with, maybe you met them in college, college, at work or what have you, maybe at church, right? And they like you where you were 5 to 10 years ago, right? Then you discovered the Be Free Project, and I'm all like, girl, let's get on this personal growth journey. Let's do this inner work. And now you find yourself growing. You find yourself saying no. You find yourself setting healthy boundaries. You're starting to work out. You're starting to shift your mindset. You're starting to be more positive. You're starting to make new friendships, all of this stuff, and they don't like the change. So you know what happens? They start to judge it. And they'll say, oh, I don't like when you do that, or I don't like when you hang out with this person. And I don't think that it's personal, but because you are doing something that's out of the norm in your friendship, they don't like it. And so I say all that to say, you need friends in your life that will allow you to grow and evolve, and they do not expect you to stay the same. If there are friends in your life that are keeping you in a cage, you need to pay attention to that. A cage, a box, whatever you want to call it. That ain't great. And I've been there. I know what that feels like, where certain friends in my life, or they were in my life, if you will, they liked me when it was comfortable for them. They liked me when I followed this pattern, if you will, or these steps that made them comfortable. When I began to change, then things got a little bit uncomfortable in the friendship. And it's not just one, it's several, right? People don't like your growth. They want you, they may say they do, but then when you start growing and changing, and if they are not growing, if they are staying the same, now it's challenging them to have to look at themselves. And maybe they're not ready to look at themselves. But I don't want you to stop doing your work because your friend is not coming along with you. Because I remember when I was in that place, I wanted everybody to come along. I'm like, come on, y'all. I'm learning all this stuff about personal growth. I'm doing all of this stuff, right? I wanted everybody to come along. What I now know, and I knew this before, but I know it to be true now because I'm living in it and it has happened in my life. Everybody cannot go with you. Everybody cannot go. Everybody cannot go. And you want them to go because you're like, why not? We've been cool since we were 8 years old. We went to high school together. We used to go to the parties, do all the things. Why can't we grow together? You're in a different place. Your mind is different and their mind is different. And maybe you are growing, but you're just growing in opposite directions, and that's okay too. And so you have to be okay with allowing that friend to be in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And you have to know where they fit, you know? So that was number 5. Number 6. Oh, this water is so good. So good and cold. Number 6 is you want friends in your circle that, and it kind of goes to the first one too. They will accept you as you are without judging. So what I'm saying is that, and I'm guilty of this. I know I have judged friends in the past. I know I have been critical. I know that. Now where I'm at, I do my best not to. Because we are all living out our own lives. We all have our own personal experiences. And I'm so grateful that the friends that I have in my life, no one is judgmental, right? And so when you experience non-judgmental friends, it'll change the game for you. Number 1, it'll shine a light on you like, oh, maybe I was judgmental in the past. Who was I judging? What was I doing? When you realize, when you have friends in your life that are non-judgmental, right? And then sometimes you're like, wait, I'm doing this and you ain't gonna judge me for that? I'm so used to people being critical. I'm so used to people doing that. So that's a whole new ball game when you have friends in your life that are non-judgmental, and you want people that aren't going to judge you. You want people that will accept your most authentic self, right? Well, and because this is what was happening. This is what happened as I was, when I think about other friendships, especially in my teenage years, we were all the same, doing the same thing, right? So it was easier to judge if you did anything outside of that sameness. Now I'm a grown woman. I ain't trying to do nothing the same. I'm only trying to be me and do my own thing. And because of that, I don't need anyone in my life trying to judge my actions and my choices. No, love me for who I am. Love me, period. Right? So that's number 6. Number 7, you want friends in your life that will inspire you to be your very best. And I'm grateful for my amazing friends, right? My amazing and forever friends. I'm very grateful for them because they challenge me in the most beautiful way possible to be my very best. And I'll be honest, there are days when I don't feel like doing nothing. I'm like, oh my gosh. And they will remind me who I am. Every day we send out texts saying, great morning, and we speak life over each other. Those are the types of friends that you want around you that will inspire you every single day to be your very best, to pursue your goals, to show up as a mom, whatever your role is, or just in general as a woman. Like, you want friends that's going to inspire you to be your very, 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 very best. Number 8, and this is important, and I don't know if it's important for y'all, but it's important for me. I need you to hold me accountable. So if I say, because one of my goals is I'm going to make $10,000 in 10 days, we will talk about that at another time, but that's one of the goals I've set. One of my friends is holding me accountable to that, right? She like, all right, let's get it. And I'm like, oh, but I'm going to do it because I already got it. I already believe it. I'm doing my inner work around it. I'm good, right? And I'm even saying it out loud to y'all, right? And she's holding me accountable to that. And I'm so grateful, right? And I know, Chandra, that's your thing. Chandra is inside the Be Free Inner Circle. And that's one of the things that she is working on this month is getting the accountability that she needs. Because it's so important. Because who wants a friend in their life that you tell them you're going to do something and nobody ever says nothing else about it? Girl, what? No. The way I'm set up, if I say I'm going to do something, I need you to check in with me and say, you know what, Siobhan, you said you were going to do this, this, and this. Where are you at on that? Right? And 10 times out of 10, I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Let me get on it. And because I'm an Enneagram 3, I don't know if anybody is into Enneagrams, but anywho, I'm an Enneagram 3 and that's an achiever. And so I have to win. And so if I don't do something, it's like, what? So I love accountability. I love it. So have friends in your corner that will hold you accountable to do what you say you're going to do. Because many of you are stuck because you are not sharing your dreams and your goals with anyone else. And you're not sharing it because those people won't hold you accountable. Or like some people, you may be afraid of the accountability, right? Because you don't want to be pushed outside of your comfort zone. Have friends in your circle, at least one friend that's going to hold you accountable to do what you say that you're going to do. Number 9. You want friends in your life that will respect your boundaries and they're not going to push up against them. So if I say I'm done talking on the phone at 9 o'clock, they're not going to call you at 9:01 like, girl, I need you. No. My boundary is this, right? When you put boundaries in place, your friends respect them. If you say this is what I'm doing as it relates to my family and my company or what have you, your friends respect your boundaries and they don't challenge them. I feel like when people challenge your boundaries, they're not honoring your power. They're not honoring you. And they only want what they can get from you because they don't want to respect the boundaries that you're putting in place. So just keep that in mind. Number 10, and this is something I posted on the gram. I don't know if I did this yesterday, I think. But you want friends in your circle that can grow higher with you and match your energy. You want friends that are vibrating higher with you. So I talk about this often, like I am grateful that my friends are all on their own personal growth journey. I'm so grateful that everyone is emotionally and mentally healthy. And that means that because of where I'm at and my light is so contagious, my light is so bright, I am very energizing, right? And so because of that, I know how I show up in friendships. Like I am light. And so I need friends around me that they too are operating in their light, whatever that looks like. I cannot be around people that drain me. I cannot be around people who are negative. I cannot be around people who are not doing their work, because what happens is I'll keep doing my work and you're not doing any work. And then we are never going to, we are never going to be growing higher together. We're never going to be doing that. And so, and I'm noticing this now as I'm even looking at friendships now, like if we are not doing our work and growing, what are we doing? Because I told y'all my number one value is growth. It is growth. And I'm always working on some area of my life. And so if I cannot be around people, and this is no judgment, right? I just want to put that out there. This is nothing like that. This is just me. Because I'm always growing, I need people around me that are growing too. Because what will happen, we'll go back to number 5, where you want friends that will love you as you grow and evolve. If I'm evolving and I'm growing and you're not, you ain't going to be able to hang with me. You're going to be bothered by me. You're going to be irritated by me. My light will be an irritation to you, right? Where you can't even be around me because of my growth. And now I understand that. And because I understand that, that's why I can say I want friends around me that match my energy. You need to be vibrating with me. And everybody ain't meant to be around me. And I'm okay with that. My circle is small. And I know, Chandra, you said, and I'm going to share video clip that you did on IG stories last week, but you shared, and you shared this in the inner circle too, how your circle is small, like a small circle, very small. And I'm like, yeah, my circle is small. I do have other friends, but as far as the people that are close to my heart, it's a small group. And that's okay, because everybody cannot handle my light, and I'm okay with that. Number 11, and this is the last one, and then we'll move on to 5 questions that I want you to ask when evaluating your friendships. But number 11 is you want your friends to feel like home. Now, this is something that came to me after reading the book Belong. I can't think of the author's name, but the book is Belong, and it's all about like community building and friendship. And as I was reading the book, and she talked about like how her friends felt like, or her community felt like home. And I'm like, yes, you know, when you walk into your house, like after a long day at work, and you're like, oh, I cannot wait to get home. And you walk in and it just feels so good. And oh, it'd be nice if you can smell like the aroma from food that is cooking, and you just take off your shoes and you sit on the couch and you just relax. You know how good that feels after a long day? Listen, that's how you want your friendships to feel, where they're so safe, they're so comforting, they're so supportive, that they feel so good to your soul that you're like, this feels like home to me. That's what you want in your friendship circle. So I'll repeat the 11 things that I shared with you, right? And then you're going to come to the Be Free Meetup, Sip and Grow on September 18th, because we're going to talk about this in more detail. And we're really going to talk about also friendship breakups. And we're also going to talk about, how to heal from a friendship breakup. We're also going to talk about what do you do when you outgrow friendships. And we're also going to talk about, okay, how do I attract the most amazing friends in my life? How do I get these types of friends that Siobhan is talking about all the time? We're going to talk about all that. And so the link to get your ticket is befreemeetup.eventbrite.com. Again, befreemeetup.eventbrite.com. Get your ticket today. The link is in my bio. I don't care where you live. You can fly in. There's many women who are flying into this event, and obviously, and it's happening in Cleveland, Ohio. So there's a lot of people in Ohio coming too. So do that. All right. So let's go over the list, and then I'm going to give you these questions. And then if you have questions for me, thoughts, comments, put it in the comment section, and we'll get to it. All right. So again, you want friends in your circle who will appreciate who you are. Number 1. Number 2, you want friends in your circle that will make and hold space for you. Number 3, celebrate your wins, big and small. Number 4, have fun and you can laugh with. They bring you joy, right? Number 5, love you as you grow, change, and evolve. Number 6, accept you for who you are without judging you. Number 7, inspires you to be your very best. Number 8, they hold you accountable. Number 9, they respect your boundaries. Number 10, they grow higher with you and they match your energy. And number 11, they feel like home. All right. So now let's get into 5 questions. And I did an episode on my podcast, the Be Free Project podcast, that you can find any and everywhere. And this was last week's episode about, there were 15 questions on evaluating your friendship. So if you want all 15, make sure you head over to the podcast today and listen to it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, you name it. Go listen to it. But today I'm going to give you 5 of those questions from that podcast episode. So number 1, questions that I want you to, first of all, before I give you these questions, it is very, very, very important that you evaluate your friendships and take inventory, because based on the list that I just provided, and you're thinking about your friendship group, right? And if you're not getting what you need out of your friendships, you need to take inventory. You need to evaluate the friendships where they're at. This is not for you to judge them. This is not for you to be critical. It's just, oh no, let me ask myself these questions. And not only are you asking, are your friends showing up for you in this way? Are you showing up for your friends in this way, right? Again, I'll keep saying it's a mutual interaction. And the reason I say that is because many people want their friends to be something for them that they are not being, right? So you want your friends to come in and appreciate you and make and hold space for you and have fun and hold you accountable, but you're not doing that. No, a friendship is give. Right? Like I have to show up for my friends in the same way that I expect them to show up for me. So again, you want to take inventory in your friendships. Number 1, you want to ask this question: do I enjoy spending time with my friends? Do I enjoy spending time with my friends? And this is not a difficult question. You either do or you don't, right? There's some friends in your life you're probably like, I don't even want to be bothered, but you're still calling her a friend and you're still allowing her to be in your life, but you don't even like spending time with her for whatever reason. So that's question number 1. Do you enjoy spending time with this friend? Number 2, are we friends because it's convenient, or did we consciously choose each other? That's real. I'll read it again. Are we friends because it's convenient, or did we consciously choose each other? And I just started consciously choosing my friends a couple of years ago. So it ain't like I've been doing that part for a long time. But now that I know what it looks like to consciously choose your friends, which I have an episode coming out on my podcast next week about how to consciously choose your friends. So if you're not subscribed to the Be Free Project podcast, make sure you do that, because there's a whole episode about that. But again, that question is, are we friends because it's convenient, or did we consciously choose each other? Number 3, do you feel energized when you spend time with your friends? Do you feel energized? Do they light you up? Do they fill your cup? Do you feel so good, like you never want to get off the phone with them, or you never want to leave their presence? Do they feel good to your soul? Right? So again, that question is, do you feel energized when you spend time with them? Number 4 is, let me see. Oh, okay. I'm like, let me see if I can read my own writing. Okay. The question is, number 4, is your friend investing the time and effort into the friendship? Is your friend, or are your friends investing the time and effort into the friendship? And again, are you doing the same thing, right? We're not just expecting our friends to be these amazing people in our lives and we're not doing it ourselves. So again, is your friend, or are your friends investing time and effort into the friendship? And then number 5, does your friend support you? And then, if so, in what ways? Does your friend support you? And in what ways? So those are, those are 5 questions, y'all, that I want you to journal about and take inventory on your friendships. So if you go, let's just say number 2. Are we friends because it's convenient, or did we consciously choose each other? So if you can look at your friends and you say, you know what, these friends are in my life because it was convenient. We met at church, we met at work, we met back in elementary school, and they just been in my life for whatever reason for this amount of time. That's why they're here. If I was to choose this friend again, based on where I'm at, if I was to consciously choose this friend, would I choose that friend? And if your answer is not yes, then there's some things you need to think about. And again, I would never go out and say, oh, you need to leave that friend. No. I'm just saying what you do want, as I talked about in the first 11 things, you want friends that feel like home. And if you look at your friends right now and they don't feel like home, then you get to make some choices. And some of the choices may be easier for some than not. But I will say for me, and this is why I'm having the Be Free Meetup Sip and Grow, and this is why our conversation will be around friendship, is because I've done my work. And I have amazing friends. And I told you about that quote that I won't stop thinking about by Rachel Rodgers, that 95% of your success or failure will be predicted based on the people you spend time with. And if your 95% don't look solid and good, then you could be setting yourself up for failure. And I want to succeed. And I feel like y'all come here and y'all watch me week after week. Y'all want to succeed as well. But the people that you're spending the most time with, they are impacting your life. They are influencing your life in some capacity. And so it's up to you to make some shifts if the people that you are around are not adding value to your life. And I'm grateful because every single one of my friends adds so much value. I love my friends. And this is why I can teach on friendship. This is why I can talk about it. This is why I can do all the things around friendship and community building, is because I am a living example of it. I would not be talking about this if I wasn't doing my own work. But if y'all know my friends, and some of them have been on my podcast, actually, I think they've all been on my podcast for the most part. Maybe there's a couple more people that need to be interviewed. But I talk about my friends often. And again, it's a small group that I'm really, 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 really grateful for. So hopefully this was helpful for you today. Again, I have how do I want to say? The Be Free Meetup, Sip and Grow, is happening September 18th. There are tickets still available, so make sure you get yours no matter where you're at. And bring your friend along. Like, hey, girl, we should go to this together. Get a ticket for you and your friend, because I can guarantee I'm going to sell out very quickly, which I'm really excited about. So let's make it happen. And the link to get your ticket is in my bio, befreemeetup.eventbrite.com. All right, so do y'all have questions? Do y'all have thoughts, comments, concerns? Let's get into it. Put them in the comment section. Or put it in the question box, or share your key takeaway. I would love that as well. Angel says, you can become a friend of a friend and you are around each other because of the mutual friend. Then you look back and you all don't match. Oh, come on, Angel. Yes. And that happens, right? Like, you connected with someone through another friend and y'all became friends, but then you're not really a good match. And the only thing or only person y'all have in common is the person that y'all were connected through, right? And so that is a perfect example of a friendship you would have fallen into versus consciously choosing. Every friendship at this point, I am consciously choosing you to be in my life. I ain't just falling into any relationship, because what I said in the very beginning, my light is so bright and my light is very contagious, right? And so I do not want any and everybody around me. I do not. And so I'm very protective of my energy, and I don't just spend time with everyone, right? And so because of not just what I'm working on in my company, but just in my personal life, like, I need beautiful energy around me, y'all. And everybody just can't be, everybody just cannot be around me like that. And I'm okay. And I can't be around everyone, right? I'm not for everybody. I get it. So that is a perfect example, Angel, of how you fall into friendships. And it's like, I didn't even choose you. How we get here? And then you find yourself annoyed when you're around them, when they text you, when they call. You're avoiding going out to certain places because you don't want to see them. Come on, you grown. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Chandra says there will be no more. No, I'm like, hell no. No more accidental friendship. Okay, let me read it before I respond. I cracked myself up. There will be no more accidental friendships for me again, nor trauma bonded friendships either. Ooh, that's a word right there. I did attract friends based on my mother wounds. Very much so. I know that I did. And this is the thing. Once you heal your trauma and once you heal whatever wound that you have, I feel like it's almost like a space has been lifted. And now it's like, oh, I will never be in this type of friendship again, because I was only friends because of my wounds with you. And now, because I don't have that wound anymore, certain friendships don't even make sense in my life, right? Because when you have trauma, right, you're operating from a different space. And so I'll tell my business, right? For me, my trauma, because I had abandonment issues, right? And from mother and father. And so for me, I would hold on to friendships like this because I didn't want to be abandoned again. So I was and I talk about this a lot, codependent, where I needed to be dependent on you because I didn't want you to leave me. Because if you leave me, then that's going to remind me of the pain that my mother made her choice, or my father made his choice, and I don't like that pain. So let me stay in this friendship let me deal, how do I want to say this? Let me not be my most authentic self, so I can stay in this friendship because it feeds that wound, right? Or me needing approval and validation. Because I didn't know how to do that for myself, because of my wounds, I expected other friends to do that, right? And so now I'm like, oh, but I healed my mother wound. I healed that. I'm good. So now, because that's not there anymore, right? That wound is not pressing and it's not there. I don't need friends that, now that wound is not there anymore, codependency will not show up in my friendships because I healed my stuff, right? I don't need nobody to affirm me. I don't need that validation. Like, I affirm myself. Yes, my love language is words of affirmation, but I don't need you to do that for me. I got affirmations that go off on my phone every single hour. I write down affirmations. I speak life over myself every single day. I don't need anybody to do that for me. When someone else do it, that's just icing on the cake because I've already taken care of myself. I didn't always know how, excuse me, I didn't always know how to do that. So to your point, Chandra, I was looking for my friends to be mothers and, wow, I was looking for my friends to show up in a mother role because of my wounds. I don't know if I thought like that before. I don't know if that came out, but that's what was happening, you know? And I don't need no friend to be that. I need you to be a friend. I need you to meet the things that I shared in the beginning. I don't need you to be no mother or no father, right? And shame on me for even needing a friend to be that. But that was because I was wounded. I do not have no wounds like that anymore. And maybe I'll talk about that, the journey with my mother and where we're at now, because it's very different. When I first used to get on here, or even in the beginning of my company, I was very wounded. But I worked through all of that, and there's none of that. So I'm so glad that you said that. Does anyone have any questions? Let's see. Yeah, Sylvia, protect your peace always. You just opened up something for me. Okay, we got to talk about that. We can talk about that. You're coming to the Be Free meetup, Sip and Grow, or inside the Be Free Inner Circle. You can share because you're a member there. This is why I too hold on my God thing. Oh, my pleasure. Angel says, I understand that totally. Abandonment issue. Yeah. And you got it. This is why, and I have another episode coming out. The reason I can say that because I am batched some stuff. So I hired a podcast engineer, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, I got a podcast on that. Because it's already recorded and scheduled to go. But one of the things, this is why it's so important to do your work, right? And so I have a whole episode titled Personal Growth 101, because you got to heal from some stuff, right? And so, you got to heal from some stuff. And so if you have abandonment issues or whatever your thing is, you got to do your inner work. You have to do it, right? Because what you don't want to do is attract friends in your life. And I'm specifically talking about friends that will feed that wound even more, I look for that. Yeah. Yep. Unlearning. It's a big deal. Just discovered it through my recent. Yeah, see, this stuff is, and this is why I get on here every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless I'm traveling or something happens that I can't get on, but I'm always going to be on here because we need to have these conversations. How would you know that you were codependent in your friendship? How would you know what your personal growth work is? How would you know if we're not talking about it? And so many women are silently suffering because they don't have a space to have these conversations. And this is why I cultivate the spaces that I do, whether it's in the Be Free Inner Circle, which is my membership space, or even inside the Be Free Meetup, Sip and Grow. This is why I cultivate spaces for women to do their work. Because if y'all like me, y'all want to keep growing and evolving and finding fulfillment. And ultimately, y'all want to be free, right? Y'all want to be free. That's what we all want. We want to be free. That's it. I was needing my friends to be moms. The mommy I never had, and then would get upset with them for offering too much freedom. Yeah, ooh, that'll preach. That'll preach right there, Chandra. That will preach. But y'all, I'm about to log off. If you are just hopping on, I don't see any questions. At all. So thank you so much for tuning in. This was amazing. I will be back next Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to have another amazing conversation. Again, get your ticket for the Be Free Meetup, Sip and Grow, that's happening on September 18th. If y'all love me here, I say this all the time, like, meeting me in person is a whole vibe, is a whole energy, it's a whole thing. So if y'all love me here on the gram, y'all love me inside the Be Free Inner Circle, when y'all meet me in real life, I'm this way, but times 1,000. Like, y'all just gonna get all of it. And I'm just ready to give people hugs because post-pandemic, I'm like, give me a hug. We can have our mask on, but I want to give everybody a hug that walks in the door because I'm excited to see every single woman. And it's going to be the most amazing conversation that we're going to have. There will also be wine and non-alcoholic beverages, right? We will also have light bites to eat, and it's just going to be great. It's going to be fun, beautiful energy. Yes, and it doesn't matter where you're from, y'all. You don't have to be in Ohio to attend. People are flying in from, Chicago, Alabama, Atlanta, Jersey, Philly is what I know so far, and then there's different people are coming in from Ohio, Cleveland, Akron. So literally it doesn't matter. Book a ticket. Have a girls trip. Come on Friday. Many of them are staying till Sunday, and some I believe on Monday. And if you are traveling in, I have a whole list created for you, which the list is being updated, Chandra. But I have a whole list for you of things to do in Cleveland. So if you fly in on Friday and you stay to Sunday, my event is on Saturday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I will say, the conversations are always so rich and good. So it's very possible that we will go past 9 o'clock. You don't have to stay past that. You can leave. But when I tell you when the conversation is flowing, we can stay as long as we need to. But yes, you can definitely fly in. This is not just for Cleveland, Ohio. This is for everyone. Listen, let somebody tell me they're coming in from another country. Y'all, I don't know what I'm going to do, but that would be dope, right? That would be really dope. All right, so I'm about to log off, or I will keep talking all day. Thank y'all for joining me today. Again, I will see y'all next Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If y'all have any questions, you can always hit me up in the DMs. I am there. And I hope you have the most amazing weekend ever.